Today we'll be solving a variety of two-step equations. We'll be using the properties of equality to solve these equations. Our first example, 6x minus 11 is equal to 31. So we want to isolate x, solve for x, so we are going to add 11 to both sides. So that leaves us 6x, negative 11 plus 11 is 0, is equal to 42. We just used the addition property of equality because we added to the same value to both sides. Now we're going to divide each side by 6. X is equal to 7. We divided each side by 6. We use the division property of equality. Negative 9x plus 7 is equal to 25. So we want to isolate x, so we're going to subtract 7 first. And that's going to leave us negative 9x, 7 minus 7 is 0, is equal to 25 minus 7 is equal to 18. So we use the subtraction property of equality there. And then now we're going to divide each side by negative 9. X is equal to negative 2. Example 2, x divided by 3 minus 12 is equal to negative 14. So we're going to again isolate x. So we're going to isolate x, so we're going to add 12 to both sides. So x divided by 3 is equal to negative 2. Use the addition property of equality here. Now we have x divided by 3, so we're going to multiply by 3 each side, multiplication property of equality. So 3x divided by 3 leaves us x. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. X divided by negative 2 plus 8 is equal to 1. So we want to isolate x, so we're going to subtract 8 on both sides. One minus 8 is negative 7. So we use the subtraction property of equality. Now we have x being divided by negative 2, so we're going to multiply by negative 2. Negative 2x divided by negative 2 is x. Negative 7 times negative 2 is 14. All right. 3a, 1/3 x minus 7 is equal to negative 2. So we're going to isolate x, so we're going to first add 7 to both sides. Negative 2 plus 7 is 5. So now we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. We have 1/3 x. So if we multiply by 3, that gives us 3 over 3, which is 1. So if we multiply by 3, then we multiply by 3 here. So x is equal to 15. Let's look at another way we could have thought about this, more than one way to solve. When we had 1/3 x equal to 5, we could think about that 1/3 times x is really x divided by 3. So we could have substituted that and said x divided by 3 is equal to 5, and then we could have multiplied by 3, which is what we did when we multiplied by the reciprocal. All right, we have 2/5 x plus 9. Let's move the 9 by the subtraction property of equality. So we have 2/5 x. We need to make this into a 1, so we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So 5 times 2 is 10, 2 times 5 is 10. 10 over 10 is 1. Here we have a -4, which is really a -4 over 1, so we're going to just multiply that there. It's going to give us -20 over 2, which is -10. So x is equal to -10. All right, now we have x in the numerator. So we have x plus 3 divided by 6 is equal to 2. So let's think about that. Remember, the fraction bar is a grouping symbol, so these go together. So this is being divided by 6, so we need to multiply by 6. So we're going to multiply each side by 6. And 6 times that divided by 6 leaves me that, right? So just x plus 3. So if we multiply by the denominator, it leaves us the numerator. And then 2 times 6 is 12. And then we just minus 3 on both sides. Final example. Again, x minus 17 divided by 5 is equal to -4. So this quantity is being divided by 5, so we are going to multiply by 5 each side. And when you multiply by the denominator, it leaves the numerator. So x minus 17 is equal to -20. And then, of course, we just add 17. And x is equal to -3.